Hi DIYers, I'm George from Alarm Grid. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to activate the chime on your IQ Panel 2. So to start off, we're going to go ahead and there's three main things we have to pay attention to when we're enabling the chime. There is the chime volume, there's the sensor chime, so each sensor either you can switch around the chimes or you can set it to none. And there's also the sensor chimes feature that needs to be enabled in the panel. Now usually these are already defaulted at enabled, so normally these aren't things you would have to change unless somebody has changed them for you, or if you changed them you may have forgotten. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through this. So the first thing you're going to need is to make sure you know either the master code, installer code, or the dealer code. If you know either of these codes, you're in a good position and you can go ahead and enable the chime on any one of your sensors and for your panel. So the first thing we want to go ahead and do is hit the little gray bar at the very top. It's going to bring down our menu. We're going to go over to settings. From settings, we're going to go to advanced settings, and this is where I'm going to need the master, installer, or dealer code. I'm going to do the master code for now. My default master code is 1234. So if you guys have never changed your master code, it'll be 1234. Your default installer code will be 1111, and your default dealer code will be 2222. So essentially, if you guys haven't changed any codes and it is a brand new system, you can use any of these codes to get into this menu: 1234, 1111, or 2222. So now that we're in this screen, if you're not in this screen, you may have something different depending on the code that you typed in, but we want to find the sound menu. So once we hit on the sound, this is going to bring us to all of the chime features that we're going to need to enable or to just make sure that they're checked off. First thing we're going to look at is volume. If you look at the volume, you need to make sure that beeps and chimes are turned all the way up. The other settings, you can go ahead and play around with those, but today we're specifically talking about the chime for the sensors. So you want to make sure beeps and chimes, the volume is set to 7 out of 7. So you can actually just grab the bar, scroll down, scroll up. I'm going to leave it 7 out of 7 and I'll hit close. The next thing we need to do is go to edit chimes. This is what's going to allow you, if you have a whole bunch of sensors already programmed into your panel, you can go in and manually change the chimes for each of your sensors. So if I hit the little pencil icon next to the sensor I want to change, so for instance, if I want to change my front door, so if I don't want the doorbell sound, I can switch it to different ones. So we have deer, deer, sonar, F1. You can scroll through all of them. I like leaving mine, since it's a front door, I'll leave it as a doorbell. But you also see if there's a sensor that you don't want to chime on your panel, you can also disable it just by hitting none. So that'll turn off the chime just for that one sensor. Alright, I'm going to leave mine as doorbell. I'll hit save. If I go to my back door, if I hit play, it'll actually show you the sound of that chime. So if I want to change the doorbell one, if I want to change it to beep and I hit play, I can also do that. I'm going to leave mine set to the pizzicato, which is what I had it as before. And I'll just hit save. And obviously I only have 2 sensors right now, so that's why only 2 of them are coming up. But if you have any other sensors, like a whole bunch, you'll be able to change all the chimes from this screen. There's other screens where you can change it from, which would actually be in the programming screen of the sensor. You can actually change the chime there as well. This is just an easy view to get all of the sensors that have chime enabled so that you can edit them all in one screen. And that'll be the only setting you can change in this screen. So I'm going to hit the back arrow key because there's one more thing that we need to make sure that is enabled. If you go down to chime settings, if this is unchecked, your sensors will not chime, or your panel will not chime. You need to make sure that right now it says panel chimes are disabled. You need to make sure you hit that little green check mark to enable that. This is going to enable the sensor chimes. Now again, if you disable the sensor chimes, then the sensors will not chime. They might still do voice enunciation, which is a different setting, but if you turn off the sensor chimes, it will not chime. So you need to make sure that this is also checked off. So there's a couple of different things that you can enable. There's a lot of different settings that you can configure in the IQ2, and there's an easy way. If you just disable the wrong one, you could think that your system is messed up, but there's a whole bunch of different settings that need to be enabled, as you see here. Now that is for the sensor chime. You can also turn off the panel voices. So if you don't want the, like for instance right now, when I had voice and chime, it would give me the chime and then it'll say front door open. If I just wanted to chime and not say front door, I would have to turn off the voice, the panel voices, or I can simply just turn off the sensor voices. So again, I'm going to leave everything enabled just because I like having all of these, I like having the voice and the actual chime. I like hearing both of them. And I'll just hit the home button after I'm done. And now I have a couple of sensors here. I have my front door sensor. If I move it away, you should hear front door and you'll hear the doorbell. So they actually happen at the same time. It was a doorbell and it said front door open. And I'll go ahead and close that. And then I also have my back door with the pizzicato chime. And I'll go ahead and close that back up. And yeah, that's just a quick video on how to keep the chime enabled. As you saw, we also went into the voice enabling as well. So using this video, you can go ahead and enable the chime, you can enable the voice, you can change the chimes on your different sensors, you can play around with the volume of the chime and the voice. And if you guys have any other questions about how to enable the voice or the chime on your IQ2 and your sensors, feel free to send us an email to support@alarmgrid.com. If you found the video was helpful, make sure you hit the like button underneath, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and hit the little bell icon so whenever we upload new videos, you guys get notified. Thank you, and I'll see you guys next time.